Life is a journey of endless cycles, a path where every step is both a beginning and an end. We often cling to the past, afraid to move forward because we fear failure, rejection, or the unknown. Yet, true freedom and growth come not from staying where we are, but from embracing the courage to begin again. To begin again means to leave behind the comfort of what you know and step into the realm of uncertainty. It is in this uncertainty that the seeds of creativity, growth, and transformation are sown. The moment you stop being afraid to start over, the world opens itself to you. You will find that each time you begin again, you not only learn something new but also shed layers of the past that no longer serve you. Life is a continuous cycle of change. It is in the very fabric of existence. Every moment, every breath, every interaction is a testament to the fluidity of the world around us. Change is not something that happens to us, it is what we are made of. The world itself is in a constant state of transformation, whether it is the shifting of seasons, the growth of nature, or the passage of time. The sun rises then sets only to rise again, and each day brings new experiences, challenges, and lessons. Yet, as humans, we often seek stability. We long for comfort and certainty, for things to remain as they are because the unknown can be unsettling. We try to hold on to the past, the moments, the relationships, the achievements, as though by holding on, we can preserve them. But the truth is, nothing stays the same. The moment you try to freeze time, you miss the very essence of life, which is change. The nature of life is change, and resisting it only creates inner conflict. When we refuse to acknowledge the ebb and flow of existence, we close ourselves off from the endless possibilities that each moment offers. The more we fight against change, the more we suffer because we are not aligned with the truth of the universe. But when we accept that change is inevitable, we move with life instead of against it. Consider the natural world. A seed cannot remain a seed forever. It must undergo transformation, sprout, grow into a tree, and eventually shed its leaves. It is a cycle that repeats itself, and with each cycle there is new growth, new beginnings. Likewise, human beings are not static. We evolve, adapt, and transform through our experiences. Each chapter of life brings with it new lessons, new challenges, and opportunities for reinvention. In embracing change, we find freedom. Freedom from the past. Freedom from limiting beliefs. Freedom to become who we are meant to be, not who we were. When we resist change, we inadvertently limit our potential. But when we open ourselves to the natural flow of life, we discover a boundless horizon of possibilities waiting to be explored. To live fully is to accept that change is not an adversary but a companion on our journey. With each change, we are given the chance to begin again, to grow, to learn, and to expand into new dimensions of who we are. Life does not wait for us to catch up. It moves forward, and so must we. In the dance with change, we find the rhythm of existence itself. Fear is an emotion that often holds us back from pursuing what we truly desire in life. It is a powerful force, yet it is at its core an illusion. Fear is not reality, it is a product of our thoughts, our conditioning, and our imaginations. It arises when we project our worries, doubts, and worst-case scenarios onto the future. But in the present moment, it has no substance. Fear is not something you can touch, see, or even define in tangible terms. It is a mental construct that only gains strength when we give it power. When we look closely at our fears, we realize that they are often based on uncertainties or past experiences and not on the actual possibilities before us. Fear imagines outcomes that may never come to pass. It tells us that we will fail before we even begin. But the truth is, the future is unwritten, and the potential for what we can create is limitless. Fear holds us in the realm of the unknown, but it is the unknown that offers the opportunity for growth, learning, and change. Fear keeps us locked in the past or trapped in an imagined future, preventing us from fully engaging with the present. The real barrier is not the fear itself, but the way we allow it to control our decisions. The moment we recognize that fear is not a reflection of reality, but a signal pointing us toward growth, we begin to disarm its hold over us. Fear is often an invitation, a challenge to step into something new and unfamiliar. Rather than seeing it as something to avoid, we can choose to see it as something to confront and transcend. It is important to understand that fear and courage are not opposites. Courage does not mean the absence of fear, rather, it is the willingness to act in spite of fear. The most courageous people are not those who are fearless, but those who move forward despite their fears. They understand that fear will never vanish entirely, but that it does not need to determine their actions. By choosing to take steps in the face of fear, we show ourselves that the barrier we thought was insurmountable was nothing more than a mental construct. Fear is a mirror reflecting what we believe we are capable of. When we allow it to define our limits, we trap ourselves in a small world of possibilities. But when we choose to see beyond fear, to recognize it as a natural part of life, we open ourselves to a much larger and more expansive reality. Each time we face our fears, we strengthen our capacity to handle discomfort and uncertainty. And in doing so, we free ourselves to create the life we truly want without being held hostage by the shadows of imagined consequences. When we speak of the power of renewal, we are talking about the inherent ability within every individual to start afresh, to shed the past, and to embrace a new version of themselves. Renewal does not just mean changing outward circumstances or resetting external goals. It is an internal transformation that allows you to realign with your deepest truth and purpose. Every day we are presented with the opportunity to let go of what no longer serves us. The experiences, mistakes, and even successes of yesterday do not have to define today. Often we are caught in cycles of repetitive thought patterns or behaviors that limit our potential. Renewal offers the chance to break free from these chains and step into a space of openness, creativity, and possibility. It is in this space that true transformation happens. The act of renewal is like a deep breath, a moment of pause where you clear your mind and open your heart to the future. It's not about abandoning the past, but rather integrating the lessons learned into a more empowered version of yourself. It is about being willing to release old stories and outdated beliefs so you can become more aligned with the person you are continuously evolving into. Renewal happens naturally when we stop resisting the process of life. It is not a one-time event, but an ongoing cycle. Each day is an opportunity for a new beginning. When we learn to renew ourselves, we stop clinging to the weight of past mistakes or disappointments. Instead, we move forward with an attitude of learning and growth, knowing that every step, no matter how small, is a step toward a fuller, richer experience of life. True renewal begins in the heart. It comes from a place of trust in yourself, trust in life's flow, and trust that each new beginning holds the potential for profound growth. When you are willing to embrace this power of renewal, you unlock the vast potential within you to move through life with a sense of purpose, vitality, and grace. Growth does not happen within the confines of comfort. It thrives in the space where familiarity fades and uncertainty takes its place. The comfort zone is a place where we feel safe, where our routines are established, and where the risks seem low. But in that space, we do not grow. We may feel secure, but security often comes at the cost of stagnation. True growth is birthed in discomfort. In the moments when you challenge yourself, when you step into something unknown. The human spirit is designed for expansion, for pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible. When you venture outside of your comfort zone, you are essentially asking yourself to evolve. It is when you are faced with a challenge that you do not immediately know how to overcome that you are invited to discover new strengths, tap into new resources, and access untapped potential. Every moment of discomfort, every experience that shakes you has within it the seed of personal growth. When you challenge yourself to do what seems difficult or even impossible, you learn more about who you are, what you're capable of, and what truly matters to you. It's not about achieving perfection, it's about moving through the discomfort and learning from it. Think about any major milestone or breakthrough in your life. Chances are it was not achieved by remaining in what was comfortable. Whether it was taking on a new responsibility, starting a new project, or making a significant change, the moments of growth have almost always been preceded by discomfort. You did not grow because things were easy, you grew because you were willing to take the leap, to face the fear, and to push beyond your limits. Growth happens outside the comfort zone because that is where the magic happens. It is in the unknown where you begin to stretch beyond your current capacity. It is in the tension between what you know and what you are learning that you experience transformation. To stay in the comfort zone is to avoid the very thing that makes life rich, the challenge of becoming more, of stepping into something bigger than yourself. The more you step outside your comfort zone, the more you begin to understand that growth is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. Each step forward into discomfort is a step toward discovering the full potential of who you are. And as you do this repeatedly, you will find that what once seemed unfamiliar or intimidating becomes a natural part of your journey. The unknown becomes your playground, and growth becomes the inevitable result of your willingness to explore beyond the safety of your comfort zone. Failure is often seen as the ultimate setback, a sign that we have reached the limits of our potential. Society tends to place a heavy stigma on failure, associating it with inadequacy or lack of worth. However, when we look at failure from a deeper perspective, we begin to see it for what it truly is: a powerful lesson, an opportunity for growth, and necessary part of the journey towards success. Failure is not the end of the road, but rather an essential turning point on the path of life. It is a sign that you have ventured beyond the comfort zone, that you have tried something new, that you have taken risks. Every failure carries with it invaluable wisdom that cannot be gained by playing it safe or avoiding the unknown. When we fail, we gain insight into what works and what doesn't, into the areas where we need to adjust, improve, or learn new skills. This knowledge is what empowers us to move forward with greater clarity and determination. Rather than seeing failure as an obstacle, we can begin to view it as feedback. It reveals the areas in which we may not have been prepared, and it shows us the gaps in our understanding or approach. Failure forces us to reevaluate our methods, challenge our assumptions, and refine our strategies. It is in this process of reflection and adaptation that growth occurs. Failure teaches us the value of resilience, the ability to get up and try again, to keep moving forward even after facing setbacks. It builds character, patience, and perseverance, which are all crucial elements in achieving long-term success. Often the fear of failure holds us back from taking action or pursuing our dreams. We become paralyzed by the thought of not succeeding, and in doing so, we deny ourselves the opportunity to learn and grow. But when we shift our mindset and recognize that failure is an integral part of the learning process, we release the fear that holds us in place. Instead of seeing failure as something to be avoided, we can view it as a stepping stone, a necessary experience that will ultimately lead us to greater achievements. Failure also teaches us humility. It reminds us that we are not infallible and that success is rarely a straight line. It shows us that the journey is as important as the destination, and that each stumble along the way carries with it lessons that will serve us in the future. Through failure, we come to understand that success is not about perfection or avoiding mistakes, but about persistence, adaptability, and learning from every experience, whether positive or negative. Failure, in its truest sense, is not a permanent state. It is a transient phase that exists only as long as we let it define us. The moment we stop seeing failure as a defining characteristic and start seeing it as a momentary challenge, it loses its power over us. Every failure, no matter how significant it may seem at the time, is temporary. What matters is not how many times we fall, but how many times we are willing to rise and continue moving forward with a renewed sense of purpose and understanding. The essence of life lies not in reaching a final destination, but in the willingness to keep starting over, to begin anew, again and again. So often we think that living fully means achieving some form of success or reaching a particular milestone, but the truth is that living fully is not about a singular achievement or a final end. It is about continuously stepping into the unknown, embracing change, and allowing ourselves to evolve with each new beginning. When we hold on too tightly to the past, to the things we've already accomplished, or the way things used to be, we limit our ability to experience life in its fullest form. Life, by nature, is dynamic. It is constantly in motion, forever shifting. If we fail to recognize this flow and resist change, we become stagnant. It is only by continuing to begin again that we are able to keep up with the unfolding of life itself. Each new beginning is an opportunity to shed old patterns, to break free from the constraints of previous experiences, and to step into something more expansive and alive. Every beginning, whether it's starting a new chapter, taking a risk, or trying something different, carries with it the potential for transformation. It invites us to move beyond our comfort zones, to engage with life in a fresh, authentic way. By embracing each new beginning, we allow ourselves to grow, to stretch beyond who we were, and to expand into who we are becoming. We evolve not because we remain where we are, but because we are willing to begin again when the old no longer serves us. We often wait for the right time to make a change, to take a new step, or to begin something fresh. But the truth is that there is no right time, there is only now. Life is always in motion, and the right time is whenever you decide to take action. By keeping the willingness to begin again alive within you, you are saying yes to life, yes to the unknown, yes to possibility. This willingness opens the door to new experiences, new lessons, and new avenues of growth that you would never have encountered had you stayed within the confines of what was familiar. To live fully is to understand that life is not a straight line, but a series of beginnings, transitions, and evolutions. Every new beginning brings with it the chance to redefine ourselves, to challenge our previous assumptions, and to experience life from a new perspective. It is through this continual process of beginning that we find meaning, fulfillment, and purpose in life. Each new start is a reflection of our commitment to embrace what is yet to come rather than remaining attached to what has already been. The act of beginning is an expression of faith that there is more ahead, faith that growth is always possible, faith that the unknown holds within it the potential for greatness. It is through the courage to begin again, without hesitation or fear, that we find the richness of life. Life is never stagnant, it is in constant motion, and we must flow with it. To resist this movement is to resist life itself. To live fully, we must be willing to keep beginning again without end. It is through this perpetual cycle of new beginnings that we realize the full extent of our potential. In the end, life is not a singular journey toward a fixed point, but a series of continuous beginnings, each offering us the chance to evolve, to learn, and to grow. The courage to begin again is not about escaping the past or avoiding failure, but about embracing the opportunity for transformation that each new start offers. Fear, failure, and discomfort are not obstacles to avoid, but essential parts of the process that guide us toward deeper understanding and greater strength. It is in stepping beyond our comfort zones, confronting our fears, and learning from our setbacks that we unlock the fullness of our potential. To live fully is not to seek an end or final destination, but to welcome every beginning with an open heart and an open mind. Every new start is a chance to reinvent ourselves, to step into the unknown with faith and courage, and to create the life we truly desire. The only way to truly live is to keep beginning again and again with unwavering trust in the unfolding of our journey. In doing so, we move toward a life that is rich with possibility, purpose, and fulfillment, one step, one beginning at a time.